So in this little tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create the deck that needs to go over top of your, or next to your door. So you want to go to your main floor, and you're actually going to create another floor. So on the architecture tab, we click floor, and I'm just going to select a generic at this point. So I'll pick a generic 12-inch, and we need to edit this type. We need to make it our own floor. So I'm going to call this my deck. And now we need to edit the structure. Now a deck is made out of wood, so you need to change your category to wood. And the thickness of a deck is a 2x4 laid flat. So that thickness is absolutely not 1 foot. But I don't know how thick a 2x4 is laid flat, so you're going to have to figure that out for yourself. So once you do that, then you click OK. And we want, again, to constrain this to the main floor. That constrains the top of the floor of the deck to the main floor. And your deck should be, or your landing should be no more than 4 feet out from the door. So I'm going to just draw this out here, and it locks it in place at 4 feet. It locks it every 6-inch increments. It locks it depending on how far you're zoomed in and out. So if I zoom in really far, never mind. Okay, so I'm going to put it right there, and I'm going to click the check mark, and that should be all that we need to do to place it. Let's look at it in 3D, and you're going to see that it's floating. That's freakish. So we need to put some pillars underneath here because the dirt level is about halfway up the foundation wall, even though we can't see it. So to put some columns in there, we go to architecture, and we go to column, and we're going to make a architectural column here, so that it looks a little bit neater. We have rectangular column, and so we're going to want to edit this and duplicate it, and we'll call it deck post. And deck posts are made out of 4x4s. So just like a 2x4 is not 4 inches thick, a 4x4 is not 4 inches by 4 inches. It is by so that's what you need to change your depth and your width to. So it should not be 2 feet by 2 feet. I'm going to guess, and I'm going to say that a 4x4 is really 6 inches thick. I think that I'm wrong, but that's what I'm going to do, just so it looks a little bit smaller. Now, to place this column, you could sort of guess where it goes in 3D. It's really hard to do that. So I'm going to actually click on ground level. I found that that makes it easiest to place this column. And we're going to go to our column again, and whoops, I got to get back into it. Architectural column, and it's still selected, deck post. So now I can click this little dude here, and I can sort of place it in here. Now, where you want it to go, it really kind of depends on preferences as far as where it goes. It's probably not going to be lined up in that corner there. I should be able to select it from 3D view and set my constraints. You should constrain this. The top level of this should be to the main floor, but there is an offset because our deck has thickness, and it's going to show up right on the top of that deck. So to get really heavy here, you can offset this. You can set it down the thickness of your deck. So a 2x4 laid flat is X amount of inches thick. I don't remember what that is, but I'm going to offset mine. That's not correct, but offset it whatever the thickness of a 2x4 is. Your base constraint should be your ground level. It's sitting on the ground. Now in real construction, this thing would be sitting on a concrete pad, which is on the ground, and that pad is going to be all the way into the ground. There's going to be a footing placed way down low into the ground. So if you would like it just so that it looks a little bit cleaner, to make this go to the bottom of the footing, so it goes all the way down here, then that would be fine also. So you can put your deck post here. You'll have another one on both corners. How long you make your deck is up to you, but the width of it should be at least 4 feet.